Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit, actually 2 model kits tonight probably, and to hang out with all of you. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. You can use other people's emotes. If you're not a subscriber or you just don't want to use mine, or you can say hi, or be a lurker. You've got plenty of options tonight. Ghost Valve is here. Hello, Ghost Valve. Aristophan is here using that Tier 2 Blue emote and all the other emotes as well. Welcome, Aristophan. Happy to have both of you here. We are currently at... Oh, John's here. Hi, John. Nice. And Lord Crashton says, hey, Pat. Hey to you. We got a great crew already. Nice. We are currently at 39 out of 40 subscribers. So, the thing where I asked, where we're trying to get to 40, it begins again. If you would like to become a subscriber, you could do that right now with Cash Money or Prime Gaming Token. If you have Amazon Prime, link to your Twitch. If you want to gift a sub, if you wanted to gift a subscription to someone, I should say that clearly so you understand, you could gift a sub, and then you would join the Give Sub leaderboard, which right now has no one on it because it resets every month. So you could do that, and then people would know that you're a generous person. Again, we are currently at 39 subscribers. The goal is to hit 40. And when we hit 40, I shut up about it. Anyway, what's the plan for tonight? Well, we've got the Marine type Gundam here, which I just lost. The beam saber like to pop off of the side of this where they are held, which is a shame because it looks cool. Anyway, I have the Gundam Marine type, aka the Gundiver, which is just a Gundam that goes underwater, basically. It is like a scuba Gundam, which I enjoy very much. We've got the upper part of that kit done. We have almost one entire leg done. I have a little more to do with that. And then we have the foot for the other leg. So we got to build the rest of the legs here, finish up like the other. Then we got to build the vectored beam rifle. And then I will show you how we add a wire to make the hand anchor, and then also how we turn the wrist weapon here into a harpoon gun. This is a harpoon gun. This is the hand anchor. It's just like a grappling hook. So we'll show that part off too because it's neat. And then that'll be done. And then we'll say goodbye forever to the Gundam Marine type Gundiver. And then we'll start the God Gundam Real Grade, a kit that had been delayed through official channels twice, that finally arrived. It is the Real Grade for the God Gundam from G Gundam. Is beautiful looking. It is a kit that I am very excited to put together. It does have these big rings of power. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome. So it's got these big discs that we're going to be putting on the kit. So it's got cool effect parts. And then later in the year, at some future date, I will receive a high-grade horse that is meant to be the stand for the God Gundam. Because the God Gundam is probably going to be displayed behind me over there. But then that will be replaced with, I'll add a horse to it. Not all my kits go on display. Obviously, I have a Lego set and then like 3 little kits back there. But I would like to add to that in the future. And that would definitely replace the RX-782 that's back there, the entry grade, which is a great kit, don't get me wrong. But like, what if I put a God Gundam on a horse back there? And yes, the horse is the alive animal. The mobile suit is actually a unicorn. It's a unicorn mobile suit that is piloted by a horse. I corrected myself, so you do not have to correct me. Tonight's agenda, obviously finishing one kit, starting another. We'll talk layoffs, because there's more layoffs in the entertainment world. The tech/entertainment. Talk about some anime in the second hour. We got 2 new shows to talk about. Very different vibes, but good vibes for both of them. We've got wrestling to kind of get into because we've got a TV special coming out of AEW on Friday, and then on Saturday, that's Saturday, not Sunday, unfortunately, for me, there is a WWE pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, And so we'll kind of run down those cards, and I'll talk about them and see if there's anything that might end up that, my thoughts on them and hear from you as well. And then once we get started with the actual model kit building, we're going to talk about Mario. We kind of have to talk about Mario. The Mario Direct that was just Miyamoto and then Chris Pratt and then Jack Black talking to camera remotely. They weren't all together. And then the new trailer for the movie that's coming out next year, January of next year. I can't remember the exact date, but there is a trailer for that movie. It is coming. We'll talk about it. But I'm going to reply to my own tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight. Get the word out again. Remind people. Also, real quick, because I don't have a lot to say about it particularly, but Judy Tenuta, a musical comedian of high regard, a fantastic comedian in her own right, a fantastic musician in her own right, and an absolutely killer musical comedian. One of those comedians that people would think, why is this weird person on television right now talking to me? Because they did not understand character work. Obviously a pioneer in the use of accordion as a comedic instrument. And just, by all accounts, a lovely woman and a dear friend to many. Rest in peace, Judy Tenuta. You had such a weird voice, and you were so funny and sharp. And I hope, odd thing to start with, but it did happen, and I did feel the need to bring it up because I'm still a lover of comedy and a comedian myself, even though I don't perform much anymore. I build more model kits than I do improv shows these days. Anyway, let's go to the overhead. There's the overhead. I have the rest of the marine type over here. I'm pulling from here because my shelving right now is full of the real grade components, because that will just be easier for me to grab them over here. Yes, also former WWE Tough Enough winner Sarah Lee won Tough Enough, did pass away suddenly at the age of 30, which is unbelievably sad. She also had an NXT contract. And it is, and people certainly had many kind things to say about her. She was the mother of three, with WWE wrestler Corey James Weston, who is Wesley Blake, I want to say for sure. I'm now Googling his name because I forget, because I don't know a lot of kayfabe names. I mean, I know wrestling names. I don't know. Yes, Wesley Blake. Wesley Blake's wife. They met in the WWE and the NXT stuff. And he leaves her behind, which is... she leaves him behind, I should say. Which is certainly a shame. So my condolences to that family, certainly. And you started hearing some nice things about her. Like, again, I was not watching Tough Enough when she competed, but I do know that she was an NXT performer as well. And certainly you feel for her family, and gone just incredibly strange. It feels very trite for me to say that, you should reach out to people when you can, because life is fleeting and precious, and we should endeavor to make the most of the moments we got with people if we can. I'm not saying forgive and forget. I am saying that there are some things that you will in the future will look back on and go, well, what was that about? And and if there are those things in your life that are preventing you from reaching out to people, maybe take a moment to think about that. See if there's something that can be, if there are fences that can be mended in your life. Sometimes there are not. Sometimes there are lines that are uncrossable, and there are situations that are untenable and cannot be fixed. I understand that. Been there. I got a few people in my life that'd be like, okay, no thanks. But then there are other people in my life that I don't do my best to keep in touch with. And maybe I would, maybe I should take my own advice. Assuredly, I should take my own advice. Let's go from that news to something a little lighter. Today, we'll do the impossible pivot. Today, Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct. It was pretty short because it was basically just like, hey, we got this trailer from, hey, have you heard this? There's going to be a Mario movie. Miyamoto out there talking about how the Mario movie is good. And he was like, and here's my friend Chris that I worked very hard on this project with. And I was like, wait, is Miyamoto claiming that he is friends with Chris Pratt? Because that's weird. No. Chris is also the name of the director of this movie that is like spearheaded the project and all that. And he and Miyamoto are now friends and have worked tightly together on this project. I don't know if Miyamoto has met Chris Pratt or not. I cannot comment on that. I can only tell you that I, for a second there, was like, what the fuck is happening right now? But that didn't happen. So we heard from that guy. He was talking about stuff. We were like, oh, that's okay. Then we heard from Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt won't stop talking about his deep-seated love for Mario because he played the Mario arcade game when he was a young person at a laundromat, and that is his bona fides. That is his like, hey, it might not think of me as a gamer, but you gotta understand, I played this one video game a lot when I was a kid, so please stop getting mad at me. Yeah, he's a Mario Brothers stan, not a Super Mario Brothers. He's a Mario Brothers stan. But yeah, basically he's like, hey, please stop getting mad that I'm Mario. Because you can't undo it. Anyway, then we heard from Jack Black. Jack Black has very long hair and a big, big beard, and he was wearing, I would describe it as not a Hawaiian shirt, but certainly a party shirt. Apparently, come to find out, that is part of a jumpsuit that he wears, because he has matching pants for that he wears on tour, and most assuredly recorded that message while on the tour that he's currently in, because he was wearing that outfit in a recorded for YouTube concert that aired like 2 days ago, like a live performance. So that's pretty much standard Jack Black at this point. Yes. Look, am I saying the outfit he wore came from his own personal collection? It's totally possible. I don't know for sure, but I do know that is what he's wearing on tour, which is great. Good for him. Anyway, he was very fun and wild and said a bunch of things that seemed preposterous, but in an enjoyable way. And then it was time for the trailer. The trailer that really focuses on Bowser being awesome. It's a whole lot of Bowser being just a tough guy. There were some Koopas that had there was a Koopa with an eye patch, some personality there. And then beautiful, luscious Mushroom Kingdom. And if you had in your bingo that Mario says, what is this place? Then congratulations. At the very least, he says it in the trailer. And we got to hear the voice. Now, I'm going to be an asshole for a little bit, because I am going to quote you words that came out of the mouth of Chris Pratt in the past when it was announced that he was going to be the voice of Mario. He said, and I fucking quote this, I worked really closely with the directors and trying out a few things and landed on something that I'm really proud of and can't wait for people to see and hear. It's an animated voice narrative. It's not a live action movie. I'm not going to be wearing a plumber's suit running all over. I'm providing a voice for an animated character. And it is updated and unlike anything you've heard in the Mario world before. And that character Mario in this movie, this animated movie, sounds 100% like Chris Pratt doing a very weak ass attempt to do Captain Lou's voice. It's just like the hint of New York, like the hint of Brooklyn. Not an Italian stereotype voice, right? Not an Italian American, like someone that was raised by first generations, or that is first generation, raised by people that immigrated, and so they have that accent even though they're speaking English. None of that. It just sounds like Chris Pratt. And then when he says, "Here we come," it kind of sounded like Captain Lou Albano, who was the voice of Mario in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Live action and animated, because it was a joint venture. Chris Pratt talked a big game. It's just the Lego guy voice. I mean, I haven't, so technically, Lashbrook, you're right. No, sorry, Lord Crashton said that. I apologize. Lord Crashton said, I haven't heard Chris Pratt in the Mario universe before. So technically, it is unlike anything you've heard in the Mario world before. But he said that he settled, landed on something I'm really proud of. Chris Pratt is telling us that he's proud of that. Scooty the Scoot says, "What did I walk into? I feel like we didn't find anything, talked it up all." Yes, Lashbrook. So, Scooty the Scoot, first off, hi, welcome. Right now, we're talking about, if you didn't see it, the trailer for the Mario movie was presented. Came out officially. There was a little Miyamoto talking. They heard from some of the voice talent. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, it's funny. Jack Black is chewing up the scenery and having a great time as Bowser. It is fantastic casting. You know it'll be fun. It looks great. I think that it visually was really fun. Michael Key as Toad was a little less nasally and high pitched than I would have liked, but I understand he's a human man doing that voice. I think Nervous, he can play very well. If you watch Key and Peele, you know that he can play a nervous character very well, even maybe a neurotic character very well. So I think that's fine. I was just talking about how Chris Pratt is just doing Chris Pratt with a little bit of Captain Lou Albano, and he talked a big game about how we're all going to be blown away by this voice. I'm mostly going to be watching it for Jack Black. So my hope is, Scooty, my real honest and earnest hope is that Donkey Kong is not just there for a second, because Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is not the best idea I've ever heard, but it is in the top 100 ideas for a casting choice. I very much enjoy the idea of that motherfucker, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I'm on board. There's a Charlie Day. We just hear Charlie Day being nervous, which he can do very well. Lasper says IGN has a fun clip on their Twitter of JB, Jack Black, being in character at New York Comic Con, sitting on a throne. Yeah, they showed that trailer at New York Comic Con, and apparently he's having a good old time, getting wild in the role, which is great. It's what you want. In my opinion, it is what you want from Jack Black, is for him to ham it up. Now, also, you can find this on my Twitter page. I retweeted. Other people have certainly found this. The trailers for other languages are up, and the French one, I can't speak to other languages. I only watched a clip of the French one. That Mario is way better. It's just a better performance by whoever the French voice actor is. He's just doing a better job. I think we're going to end up with, everyone else is going to be like, this isn't quite offensive, but it also is attempting to do an Italian voice to give this some life. And we're just going to get Chris Pratt. We got the bad timeline on this one. We got the bummers on this one here. So It's a bit of a shame. That's what I'll say. All right, so I need A322, which is right here. Great. So yeah, look, did it look great? Yes. And if you're worried, oh no, is the next Mario? Are they going to get are they going to get Chris Pratt to be the voice of Mario in future things? If they make a sequel movie, sure, but he's not going to show up in the next Mario game. One, because it would be very fucking expensive for them to do that, and two, because Ben Schwartz isn't Sonic in Sonic Frontier. You could argue that he should be, but he's not. They don't do that. It's a separate thing. It's not, we're not going to suffer with Chris Pratt as the voice in video games. It'll be okay. But like, yeah, it just is what it is. Chris Pratt as Chris Pratt in Mario. Yes, it's just whatever. Like, look, am I going to see it in theaters? No, but that's because I don't go to movie theaters these days. Am I going to watch it? Am I going to rent it? I'll probably rent it. I'll probably rent the thing so I can watch it before it's, on a streaming service or something. Sure. I'll do that. It'll be fun. I think it will be a good time. The animation looked great. Like 100%. I think most of the casting is interesting. Again, not the biggest fan of some of the casting, but I think most of the casting is like quite good. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. It looks and sounds like a normal CG movie. Yeah, there'll be some jokes that like kids will love and you'll roll your eyes at, and then there'll be some moments that like genuinely looked pretty cool, and you were like, "Whoa, actually, that owns. Hell yeah!" And it'll just be a movie that you watched and maybe liked, maybe didn't like. Like, I don't know. I thought the the Detective Pikachu, was surprisingly great. Like, I was like, oh, Detective Pikachu movie. This is pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. All right, I have to remember how this goes in. Go like this? Yeah, I think it goes like this. Yes. All right, I do remember now. I did this once before because we already did one leg, and now we're doing the other. So that's the Mario movie. Again, it's mostly just that they kept talking up about how like it's okay, and Chris Pratt's going to do a great job, and like people are freaked out about it, and they shouldn't be because he's going to do such a good job. And then it was just like a fucking Chris Pratt performance. Just sounded like the Lego Movie guy. It's fine. Also, our real great God Gundam is transit. Hell yeah! Welcome to the club. I've got mine. It'll be once we finish this kit. It's the next thing we're working on, and I wanted to tell people about that because I'm excited to work on it. I got mine a little while ago. Very excited to put it together. I like the God Gundam quite a bit. It's a good ass Gundam. And real grades are not my favorite, but I do appreciate the last couple of years of real grades have been pretty damn outstanding. The early real grades were never my favorite. I think they were just like sometimes kind of a mess. Like they were trying really hard to be cool. Like, we're figuring out how to do this without polycaps. It's these weird little, like, the B sprue is just full of, like, weird connecting parts. Like a weird skeleton. I don't know. They got by with the weird skeleton, I think, a little too long. Eventually, though, it did get good. And so I do appreciate them. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about here? We did Nintendo Direct. Let's do Battle of the Belts. So, we're in the Wrestle Talk. We're going to talk some wrestling because there's a Rampage is this Friday. It'll be live. Often, AEW has their Friday event. They tape after their Wednesday event. That way they just do one, they do a live show into a tape. And they do like some recording beforehand. That way they only have their talent travel once a week. It's good for a company that's not super huge to just do that. They get everybody together. It keeps the locker room from, able to see each other, and that way you don't have like separate brands or anything like that. It makes sense. But this week they're doing a special thing because at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, directly after the hour-long Rampage, will be Battle of the Belts, where every match will be a belt on the line. Now, as of right now, there are only 3 matches scheduled for that hour. Will there be a 4th match that is figured out during... I should also point out, there are 3 matches, which we'll go over. All are title matches. Also, in the hour before that, in Rampage, there will be a title defense of the Trios belts. But that is not part of Battle of the Belts because Pock is wrestling double duty. He's wrestling one in Rampage, and then he's wrestling in that as well, in Battle of the Belts as well. So I can't tell you for sure if there will be another match added if during Rampage they set up something for Battle of the Belts, or if they just do the 3 matches. I don't know. Sorry, just like a truck drove by, but still driving by. I don't know if you can hear that very loud noise, but there's a very loud noise. It's finally leaving. Great. It was very distracting, so I apologize. Anyway, 2 of these 3 matches were set up last night on Rampage. One of those matches was set up a little while ago through basically social media, which is all of those are fine. That is a fine way to do it. But anyway, here's the matches for Battle of the Belts, and then I will give my thoughts on the possible winner. Battle of the Belts, Pock versus Trent Beretta for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship. This is only Pock's 2nd time defending that belt with an AEW talent. Although there have been people from other companies, which has been kind of cool. I believe it is too soon for Pock to dump that belt, but this has a storyline behind because the trio Death Triangle that Pock is a member of, when they fought against Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, Trent's a member of Best Friends, in order to win, this was not part of the trios. This is part of Pock defending the belt against Orange Cassidy. Pock defended the belt against Orange Cassidy, and in order to help make sure he won, he hit secretly, cheatingly, Orange Cassidy in the head with the mallet used to hit the ring bell. So this is Trent. Trent's like, I'm going to hurt you. This is him getting his revenge. Pock is winning this. Trent is not going to... Trent's best shot at becoming a champion is to win either the trios or the tag belts. I do not see him winning this way, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Jade Cargill, the champion, versus Willow Nightingale, a singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. Jade is undefeated, and I cannot imagine she will be defeated tomorrow night against Willow Nightingale, who is, while signed to company, has not been announced as being All Elite, a.k.a. a full-time wrestler with the company, even though she does supposedly have a full-time contract. She has probably been waiting for her big moment. Now, one might have thought that her big moment might have been last night, where she got the pin in a trios match, that might have been her big shining moment. But instead, maybe it will be a hard-fought loss against Jade Cargill. And so everyone can go home feeling good because Willow's now All Elite. I don't know. But she's in storylines, and it's weird that she's in a bunch of storylines considering that character does not officially work for the company, and is just on a per appearance contract, which just feels weird, but that's where we're at. She's not going to beat Jade Cargill. She's already lost to her a bunch, and that's fine. And then the third match advertised, the last match advertised, is for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. It will be the champions, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood versus the challengers, the Gates of Agony, Leona and Khan. They are Ring of Honor folks. They are big, strong boys. They have Prince Nana as their manager, which is great because he is a great rich heel manager, which I enjoy very much. He's one of 2 rich heel owners of a faction in Ring of Honor / AEW. I guess 3 if Andrade still has a job because he's a rich owner of a faction. So I guess he's one of 3. But anyway, this will be a competitive match. I think they're going to get some time with this one. This could be the longest of the 3 matches we see. But FTR, if FTR are going to drop any belts, they're going to drop the IWGP belts, the belts that belong to a different corporation, or even like the AAA tag team belts. Maybe they could lose those. They're not losing those Ring of Honor belts first before they lose the other ones. I don't see it. Before I get into talking about more wrestling at WWE, we switch gears to WWE because there's a pay-per-view on Saturday. Real quick, I did want to just mention I am aware that Ricky Steamboat is doing one last match, and the advertised match is a 6-man where he is teaming up with FTR in competition against Jay Lethal as Black Machismo, which was his character that is just a Macho Man pastiche, like a tribute / ripoff of Macho Man. Brock Anderson, who is the son of Arn Anderson, with Arn Anderson as their manager, and it's presented as Arn Anderson's 4 Horsemen. So it's a guy playing who's not a 4 Horseman playing a guy who was not a 4 Horseman, the son of a horseman, and then a mystery person. They are not announcing who that mystery person is. Now, I have stated for the record my opinion. That mystery person is Ric Flair, even though he already had his retirement match and supposedly has retired. I still think it would be very fucking funny and, of course, terrible if he showed up as the mystery person since they're calling it the 4 Horsemen. Now, who would be a cool person to join that, right? Somebody that has a history with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Obviously, Ric Flair is one of them. It shouldn't be Ric Flair for many reasons, including the fact that he's supposedly retired, and people paid a lot of money to see him retire this year. Another possibility could be, obviously, one of his greatest rivalries of all time was with Macho Man, which is why they're doing the Black Machismo bit. And then the other one, which doesn't get talked about as much, but was legitimately a great rivalry, was with The Natural, Dustin Reynolds, Dustin Rhodes, he's the son of a plumber. Now, it would be weird to have The Natural be considered an honorary 4 Horseman, certainly, but he can look. Gold Dust and Dustin can still fucking go. Dustin can still wrestle. Lethal is going to do the majority of the work, and Brock's going to take the pin. And so it would be cool to have somebody of that age and era come out to, that has a history. It would be fucking cool. I don't think it's going to be Dustin Reynolds. Or Dustin Rhodes. I 100%, unfortunately, do fully believe that it's going to be Ric Flair coming out of retirement to do Ricky Steamboat's one last match. And I apologize if I have put that out there to become true, but I just genuinely believe that is what's going to happen. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about Saturday show. It's not a Sunday show. It's a Saturday show for the wrestling. We got some more wrestling coming up here for WWE Extreme Rules. These matches all have stipulations. Only one of them is a Extreme Rules match, although you could argue that what will probably be the opener, the six-man tag team, good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. The Donnybrook match is basically an Extreme Rules match. It just means it's a tag match, but like there are no tags and it's just 3-on-3. That's the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium. No titles on the line. Sheamus will most likely lose on SmackDown. Now, another match could get added at SmackDown, but I believe these are going to be the matches. I could see Braun Strowman continuing his storyline of targeting and beating up people. I could see him having a match. I could also see Austin Theory in a match. Because that keeps him fresh in people's minds, even though Roman won't be there, so he can't cash in. I could see that happening. But anyway, Brawling Brutes versus Imperium. I believe that Brawling Brutes will get this victory that does not hurt our current Intercontinental Champion, Gunther. Gunther will still continue to be the Intercontinental Champion. This will not hurt him in any way, shape, or form. But it'll give a nice little victory win. I'm sure Sheamus can get the pin since he's going to lose on SmackDown. That's my take on that. Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match, which some people think is the main event. Right now, we do not know what the main event is. This is probably even money. This or another match could be the main event because we do not have a Roman match. So this is Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match. And I believe that we will see Finn Balor win this one, that Edge will quit, because we've been seeing Adam, not Edge lately. Whatever. Even though they won the last one, and then Dominic turned on his own dad and his uncle. So yeah, that's my thought on that. And then Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match. That's right, there's a big long rope, and each of them gets tied to that rope around their wrist. And then they can use that rope or strap, the long strap, to hit each other. And then it's just a match. And there's no way that Karrion Kross loses this. The biblical match between Adam and Edge. Yes, indeed, Lord Gresham. Yeah. And Adam Copeland is fighting himself, or the persona. And Finn Balor's just there to look damn fucking good. Look, Karrion Kross fucking needs this. Drew McIntyre can get heated up again, and anytime he should not win this. Karrion Kross should definitely do it. Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins in the Fight Pit with special guest referee Daniel Cormier, who is who is from the world of mixed martial arts, and I don't know anything else about him. Couldn't tell you. But the Fight Pit is basically just like the Lion's Den. It's just a fighting thing. So Seth Rollins won in Clash of the Castle and has made this really personal and is literally, obviously he knew about it, talked about Matt Riddle's like issues with his wife and his family stuff. So like Matt Riddle should win, one, because it's in the Fight Pit, and two, because of all of the personal stuff, and he should get like a win. But also, what if Seth Rollins won? And he was just like, I won in your world, and I've won in my world. I'm the best wrestler, and I'm a strong MMA man. And he was just like a real shitbag about it. It would be pretty fucking great. It's not going to happen. It's going to be fucking Matt Riddle. Garbage Matt Riddle is going to beat Seth Rollins, but it could be something else, but it won't. Bianca Belair versus Bayley, and what I expect will actually be the first match of the night, because it's a ladder match, and that way they don't have to wait for the referees to set the title high above the ring. This is a ladder match for the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair versus Bayley. This is for Bayley. This is Bayley's big win. She's a member of Control, the trio. They have the tag team championship, the women's tag team. I could see that actually. The women's. I could see the women's having a quick, no build tag team match on that card, being set up tomorrow, with like Bailey cutting a promo and then some people from SmackDown roster come out and being mad and then getting managing to get a title shot. Anyway, Bailey's gonna win. Look, I have loved Bianca's comeback after she lost really quickly last year. She built herself back up to a champion. She's been a fantastic champion. But I think Bianca is going to be great in the chase. And also, we could have Bianca maybe turn fucking heel. Maybe get some heel Bianca there. She's fucking pissed that she lost. Not going to play Miss Nice Girl anymore. Someone even thought, what if her ponytail, her long ponytail, gets tied to the ring ropes, and that's why she can't climb the ladder. She has to cut her own hair. Could be devastating. And then the other odds-on favorite, not odds-on favorite, the other 50-50 favorite for what could be the main event for the Smackdown Women's Championship, the actual only on-paper Extreme Rules match on the card, Liv Morgan defending against Ronda Rousey. Now, somehow Ronda is, even though part of Ronda's storyline has been hurting people who are just employees of the company and then paying fines and being belligerent about it, somehow she's still also a babyface, which I do not understand. And I do know that people like Ronda. I don't. Ronda's a Sandy Hook truther and a transphobe, and she sucks shit. And she's also bad at talking in promo-wise. If I want to get to the wrestling, she's believable in the ring, but she's bad on the mic. And also, most of the time, when she's supposed to be nice, is just an asshole. Like, she doesn't know how to be a babyface. She's just, like, rude and pissed off, and you can tell, and it's weird. Because it's an Extreme Rules match, I'm going to say that Liv Morgan wins because they are still betting on Liv Morgan. And I believe in Daddy-O. That's her real... Liv Morgan's real last name is Daddy-O, which is just a great name. But I believe in Liv, and I think Liv can use a bunch of weapons and make a comeback and then have the audience, like, respect the hell out of it. And kind of undo she accidentally cheated to win. She didn't realize she was cheating to win against Ronda the first time, which the audience did not enjoy. So it could be great. And that is Extreme Rules 2022. Again, it will be on Saturday night. So I will watch most of the first hour, and then I will stream with all of you, and then I will watch whatever's left. And then find out what happened when I wasn't there. And if there's a replay from my crew, I will watch it with them. Because I like watching wrestling with friends. Can I just say, like, I know that, people are back in the office. They have been now for, like, some people have been back in the office, never left. Some people back for a year plus. Zoom Hangouts have deteriorated in my friend group as people started seeing their own friends in the same cities they live in and started socializing more. The Zoom Hangouts have been tough. I have my crew of people that play multiplayer games together, and we'll talk a little about that probably in the second hour about some gaming that I got up into with them. So we get that, and that's fun. And I'm grateful for that. But, like, I don't have, like, my comedy friends hanging out in Zoom much anymore. I have a Discord where we watch wrestling together, and then we talk about what we're watching. And we watch... Sometimes they watch Raw. I usually don't watch Raw. We watch Dynamite. We watch Rampage. We watch Smackdown before Rampage. And then we watch pay-per-views together. And sometimes we watch some international stuff as well. But most of we stick to AEW and then some WWE. I am so grateful that I have that I have that opportunity in my life, because it really does just reduce the amount of time I'm spending by myself. Like, my folks are out of town for a couple days who I live with. And you are the first people that I have spoken to today with words coming out of my mouth. Because I talked to absolutely no one today outside of you. And it is so great that I have the chance to talk to people, because I just haven't otherwise. But having like folks that I can like talk to in a Discord, hang out. We're not on voice because it would probably be too much, but we're chatting away about stuff that's happening, and and our thoughts on the matches and all that. And it's just so nice to have. Like I love it. I used to go to people's houses to watch like wrestling stuff and hang out. Like I've been doing that, as long as I had friends. As long as I had at least one friend that also liked wrestling, we would watch wrestling together. It was just like that was the way to do it. So it is nice to have that, even if it is not the same as being able to just shoot the shit in the same room, which is obviously superior to being on a Discord call or being on a Discord where we're all just watching the same screen and then chatting away. All right, we have one last thing to do with this kit. We can get started here before our pause for the cause. There are some components. I think all the components of this. Oh yeah, no. There's this, and I don't know what it's from. I believe it's from the other part of this kit. Like there's another version of this kit that has like. Oh no, I'm sorry. I can put this on the gun. That's right. These like parts that look like they're part of a submarine go on the gun. I forgot about that. My apologies. We are using every part of this kit. It's just that the gun, you can use the gun just like this, or you can put the extra parts on it to make it more water-based, I guess. I don't know. I don't quite get it. But we can do that. So we will do that. Let's see. Okay, we talked about wrestling. There have been, unfortunately, layoffs at Vice, which is a shame. And among those at Vice, Motherboard suffered a bunch of layoffs, including Gita Jackson, who you may know from writing for Kotaku in the past, and then writing for Motherboard and doing some podcast appearances on various Vice things, including Waypoint. Waypoint, if you didn't know, is under the umbrella of Motherboard. So even though that staff was not affected directly, you still have Kato, oh God, why can I not remember her name? She's the newest member, and her name is escaping me. Renata. You have Kato and Renata on the technical side, and is also doing some writing on occasion. And then you have Patrick and Rob. Just a 4-person crew, and then some help from other people along with Motherboard. Well, some of the help came from somebody that also got laid off. So the few people behind the scenes that helped make Waypoint run have also lost their jobs, which is a shame. They lost their jobs on a Thursday. At least they didn't lose their jobs on a Friday. I guess that's better. Still sucks. We hope they all do well with that. But yeah, that was a shame to see. Because I like Gita. Gita is passionate and knowledgeable about a lot of things, and thoughtful in ways that I sometimes am not. And I just genuinely appreciate her passion for what she covers and writes about. So I am sure she will eventually land on her feet in some kind of cool job somewhere. But it is certainly a shame, and is also, once again, tough because there's only so many writing gigs out there in media, and so many gigs for people that are in the New York area. Yes, Lord Crashin, it should also be said that because they are, my apologies, because Gita is a outspoken advocate for the things that they believe in, and also Black and Indian, they suffer quite a bit of shitty people who the nicest thing I can say are just complete nonsense fools. But in practice are the kinds of people that are awful to Gita are people who are very much aware of what they're doing and trying to be hurtful and shitty, as opposed to just like not understanding that their actions have consequences and can hurt people. Like, for the most part, they are fully aware of that they are being awful, and that's the point. So we got our gun, which has a weird cover on it. I'm gonna panel line this gun because why not? We'll get ready to do the God Gundam later. There's also the weapons here, so we'll have to take some photos of that. But I'll panel line the gun real quick because we're almost down here. But yeah, we hope that everyone that got laid off there finds work. I did not watch any of the Giant Bomb-a-thon, the Giant Bomb opportunity for every member of Giant Bomb to be together for the first time. Jess got to meet her coworkers, which is cool. And just like a bunch of people that didn't really get to interact before in person got to see each other. They had some special guests, which seemed very nice. Nice to see everybody together. I saw a lot of photos and little video clips, but I did not watch any of the content. I don't check in with Giant Bomb that much. I still follow them on social media and such, and I still follow them on YouTube. So I do watch some quick looks and some like sneak peek stuff, some video content. I think that's how mostly I don't really catch them live on streams. I saw them playing the Wii WarioWare game with more people than I thought was possible. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, they had a bunch of people, and then like Vinny and Alex showed up, and Mike Mahardy was there, and had a good like, hey, here are people that we like that have come through because they're in New York or New Jersey, and so like let's hang out. And it's just like, oh, that's nice. It seemed neat. And I'm happy they're all together, especially because their company just got sold. So you would think that it was like while they were planning this big get together. You can imagine that is fucking weird. But yeah, happy they were all able to be together. It's nice. Oops. Let's see. All right, we got to get this gun on, so I got to get this hand snapped together. Sometimes these hands don't love each other. The components don't love each other, and it's hard to get them to work, but we should be able to do it. Come on, there we go. We got it. I did it. I mentioned this earlier. I am currently in the house by myself. My folks are out of town. They are in Connecticut for my great uncle. And they're seeing him and seeing some other people, seeing some friends. It's very nice. But I'm here, taking care of the house, doing the, I'm watering plants every day, going outside, taking care of the lawn, cooking for myself again, which is fun. I just haven't, sometimes I cook for them, but rarely do I cook for just myself. So that's been fun to kind of just have that. Did some chicken and some rice today. It was very good. But yeah, it was like a nice day. But I didn't talk out loud. I think I said goodbye to them this morning. I woke up early to say goodbye, and then I didn't really talk much the rest of the day. So I did some singing today as vocal warm-ups, and that was good. That was good too. All right, so this is our kit here. You can see there. I'm going to actually take a photograph with it on its stand, and then I'll show you how its weapons are. We can take this one weapon off and replace it with another weapon. But let me get this together here. Take a photo, and then I'll show the other version of it. All right, so this, great. And then we got to pop this gun out here. Pop this gun out of the hand. Again, this hand is being annoying to me. So yeah, I had some time by myself, which was, it's nice. Okay, so we've got the harpoon gun, which lives on the hand there. That pops off, and then there is oops, that doesn't pop off like that. This pops off there, so you still have that on, and then there's a handle inside, and then you can put the handle in there, which you have to, again, take apart the hand, put it in there, re-put on the hand, rebuild the hand, and then you can put that in there. So then there's the harpoon gun. So that's the gun that was on the arm. And then this is called the hand anchor, which lives on there. And then this part pops out. And this lifts up a little bit. And it's a little bit like a grappling hook. And then you take the wire that comes with the kit, pop the wire in one end. And then the other end has to go in this side of the hand, which I find very annoying. So I actually took this off. I tried this out before. Getting this part of the wire in is really annoying. So I do it like this instead of doing, and then just place it on there. But it does work. It does hang out. You can see it's kind of droopy, but it does work. Kind of bend the wire how you want to go. You could put it on like another little stand, but I just kind of bend the wire, kind of let that go limp there. But yeah, that's the other part. I definitely wouldn't display it like that because I think it looks weird, but it does work. I'm trying to, I want it to be like this. This is how I want it, like high and weird. But that's not going to work right. It's going to be, yeah, really bendy. I do like the, hey, this thing's on my wrist, and then I can hold it like a gun for some reason. All right, we'll do it like that. We'll take another photo here, and then that'll be it for this kit. With 2 different weapon setups. Yeah, and that's it for the Gundam Marine Type Gundiver is now done. This is a fun kit to put together. The color scheme is one of my favorites I've built in a long time. I love the blue as the main color. I love orange in general, specifically on this kit. Little bits of the yellow and the white. The orange is a very underutilized color in Gundam and mobile suits in general for Gunpla. So it's really nice to see here because you just don't see orange too often. You see some blue, but definitely not a lot of orange. So this kit was fun to build, and I am happy. I was happy to work on it, and now it's done. We're done with it. So what we can do is we put up the God there. Then I'll take the Gundiver away. There's the God Gundam. That's what we're working on next. This is from the year 2022. Came out this year. It does have some water slides and also some very nice stickers, but it's all on one sheet because that happens with the real grade. And then they have reduced the amount of weird connector parts that is a skeleton in a real grade, which is interesting because it used to be like the legs and the arms would be these long things on B, but they have reduced that. Instead, it is just the arms with the like hands that can't pop off, but like if you want to hold a weapon. But I do really like the martial arts hands, or really the hands that fold up like that, because that is the energy blast. So that's the most important part of this kit, really. But it does have like, yeah, it doesn't have the whole chest being these components, which I don't dislike. Certainly, I think this is probably for the best. But there are no polycaps for this kit. This is all plastic on plastic. No rubber connector parts that I'm aware of. Great instructions. Good. It's all color. It has like this is where they go. Lots of good use of the color red for this. Lots of good colors. I love the we're building the head, and it's that color there, colored in, everything else. Your real grade. Oh yeah, we will probably put a hand in there because there is a big sword. I guess we could build. We probably do need to build the big sword, the big beam sword. Who knows? I don't know how we're going to stylize this kit. I do know that when I get the sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I do know that when we get the horse, we are going to put this on the unicorn horse. But yeah, we also have the big halo effect piece thing that we got to put that together, which will be fun to put together. I think it makes sense how to do it. So hopefully we can. And it shows you how to do the cross arm pose, which I think is very fun. It's like, hey, you're probably going to need to know how to do this. You're going to want to have the cool arms done. But yeah, the God Gundam is a very cool Gundam. So we will put that in there. Unfortunately, the hands we don't have any cool colored hands for the burning finger or shining finger. We don't have any of that, which is a bummer. And we do start with the legs. We're going to build the feet. We start feet. We're going from the ground up on this kit. We're going to start with the feet because this kit, of course, has feet. But before we get into that, we are going to talk about ways you can support the channel. That's right. It's the Pause for the Cause. You knew it was coming. You understand. You've seen the writing on the wall. It's halfway through the stream where I'm going to talk about ways that you can support what I'm doing here. This is the Pause for the Cause. If you would like to support me here, first and foremost, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego site emote in the chat if you're currently a subscriber. Subscribing is genuinely, not generally, genuinely the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money, through $5 a month, cash, or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime and you link it to your Twitch, you get that token, and you can support me that way. I'm just going to retweet my tweet here while I say that. Also, gifted subs. You can see we are at 39 out of 40. The goal is to hit 40. So if you would like to become a subscriber, you can do that. Or gift a sub to somebody in the community. If you're already a subscriber and you want to give me that big 40, bits and coins always appreciated as well. But yeah, every month my goal is to hit 40 because that means that I'm getting a full payout that month or the next 15 days, and that I can use that money to buy model kits and to keep it going. But there are other ways to support me if you are not... Oh, that's on. Okay, good. If you are not interested in going down the road here of, just doing through Twitch, what about Patreon? Oh, Lashbrook's throwing in the modes. Thank you. I have a Patreon. I'm going to put the link in the chat there. I have a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. And there are different rewards from the different tiers. And switched over this. If you join my Patreon today, you won't be charged. You'll be charged immediately, and then you won't be charged again until it's been a full month. So you get charged now going forward. Previous people always get charged on the 1st, even if they joined on the 22nd, they get charged on the 1st. But going forward now, if you join on the 6th, you pay again on the 6th. Least I can do there. Different rewards again. Check it out. Take a look at the old Patreon. My $3, $5, and $10 tier, so not my $1, but every other tier, just voted on what I'm going to be doing next Tuesday. My next Tuesday stream, my next bonus stream. They're voting right now, and right now it looks like I'm doing a karaoke stream. It has been a while since I did a karaoke stream, and last time I did a karaoke stream, I ended with an English language version of Cruel Angel's Thesis, the theme to Evangelion. And I am going to up the ante. I have right now one karaoke track that is an anime theme and 3 songs that are also from anime that I can't find a karaoke track of. So it'll be a sing-along with the lyrics on the screen because I can't. It's hard to get karaoke of English versions of anime themes or insert songs as karaoke. It's just difficult. So those will be sing-along, but the rest of the stream will be just songs I think are bangers. I'm going to download all of them, so I'm not running them off of YouTube. They'll all be in a playlist, and so that won't run into any issues, and I can always make them look good. It's going to be really fun. That's next Tuesday. Anyway, I'm just saying, also, a wide number of my patrons could also vote for something else, but right now that's winning. And I'm planning that to be the thing that I'm doing next week because I think it'll win anyway. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Subscribe to that because it's free. Watch my videos because it helps me and doesn't cost you anything. But if you want it to cost you something, you could join and become a member. For $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday because I do a Wednesday video series. I've been doing that now. This is the 5th year I've been doing it. So 4th year, every Wednesday I put out a new video with a theme that I've been doing that whole year. And you'll get to see that on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. You won't have to wait till Wednesday. So check that out. YouTube.com/PatBaer memberships. And then direct donations because maybe you don't want to help me out on a weekly or monthly, not weekly. Maybe you don't want to help me out on a monthly basis with a reoccurring thing. Maybe you just want once in a while to help me out That's why you can do a direct donation to me through Coffee and PayPal and Stream Elements, and every dime that I make through direct donations, YouTube, which also includes AdSense, so watching my videos, Patreon, and Twitch, everything that you give with those if you become a member goes into a fund. I take money out of the fund and I buy model kits. The God Gundam, the thing that we are starting tonight, this was something that I pre-ordered months and months and months ago. I would not have been able to pre-order this incredible kit had it not been for your generous support. So thank you very much for picking up that kit, or for helping me out so I was able to pick up this kit. I'm grateful for it. Let's see. Other ways. Now, this came out of my backlog. It was voted by my $10 patrons on what I should build next, but it is not the only thing, the only way that I build stuff, because sometimes people buy things for me to build, and that jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I put together, which is why you should maybe want to check out my Amazon wish list. I got a bunch of stuff on this wish list. Somebody just bought something off of it, which is really kind of them. I have model kits, Lego sets, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, kits that keep jumping in price and changing around, kits with free shipping, kits without free shipping, all kinds of different cool model kits that I look forward to putting together, and Lego sets that I would love to build if you bought it. It would jump the queue. Again, I would make a YouTube video dedicated to it. There's stuff with free Amazon Prime shipping, just free shipping in general. Stuff that just is like fluctuates in price all the time. Stuff that's on sale. Gear at the bottom in case you just like think it would be cool if I put together some gear, or you just send me some gear and then I had it and I could just have a better chair than I have. But the chair is fine. It's just not great. I also have a throne list. I keep saying I'm gonna be up in that. I have plans tomorrow to update that throne list. No one has ever bought anything from my throne list, but it's nice to have an Amazon alternative. And then also, you could, if you wanted to, buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store and then send me a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, with that gift card code. And I would take that gift card code and I would use it to buy a model kit from USA Gundam Store. That's the simplest thing I can tell you. I have a Discord. Joining my Discord is free. If you would like to do that, I would love to have you in the Discord. If you don't want to support me for free, you can just jump in the old Discord. Let me put that in the chat. Pardon me. I post build photos at the end of every model kit building stream. People with stuff they're working on. People plug their own streams and stuff. Get a little promote yourself area. It's nice. Maybe you'd like it. And then, let's see, a couple video links. Look, on Monday I'll have a new Pat Bear's Anime Club. But right now, if you just want to like see what's going on with me, in my last one, I talked about last season's anime, so the summer season, and I'm talking about the fall season. It was a preview, and the shows I'm talking about, some of them are already out, and we'll be talking about a couple of those later. But yeah, there's some anime. It's going good. This season's already a banger. And then Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series where every week I read a different Wikipedia article and then do my best to remember everything that I read from that Wikipedia article. And this week I talked about the flying spaghetti monster because a friend of mine was talking about how a friend of hers was going to a wedding and the bride and groom were Pastafarians. Those are people that believe in the flying spaghetti monster. And I was like, oh yeah, there are people that still into that meme, huh? Okay, so it's a very long Wikipedia article. I did my best to remember everything from it. I thought it was weird, and I probably come out condescending in it, but I tried not to be. I did try. All right, so we're going to talk about some anime. I have to drink some water, and then we're going to get started on the God Gundam. So let's get ready to get some feet in there built. But before we do that, it's very important that I drink some water and we dramatically transition to the overhead right now. I'm just gonna clean my hand here. I spilled a little water on my hands because I'm an adult. Anyway, let's talk anime. I got 3 shows to talk about. Doomsday with My Dog is still that one. There's like 2 shorts, and we talk about it on Thursday, even though new episodes come out on Friday. Whatever, it just happened that way. Do It Yourself is the first show that we will chat about tonight, because Do It Yourself and Reincarnated Sword are the 2 new shows. Yes, Reincarnated Sword first episode did air a while back as a promotional thing. People could watch it. But this is I think the first episode of Reincarnated Sword, if I remember correctly, aired at Crunchyroll Expo or something. But this was its first release, was this week of its episode airing, and you could find it on Crunchyroll, it couldn't have been Crunchyroll Expo because it's a high dive show. I don't know, I don't forget, but some people saw Reincarnated Sword early. Also, Do It Yourself is a Crunchyroll show. That's what I meant to say. Do It Yourself has some style. It also, in this episode, introduced me to the best character of the season so far, who I will get to in just a moment. Okay, so, first scene, we got 2 schoolgirls. They're both about to enter high school. We learn their names. One girl, who has a bunch of, Band-Aids on her head, and we find out later that she is accident-prone because she just, doesn't pay attention. Her mind wanders a lot. We have... her name is Serafu. Yes, Serufu. Serafu. And she gets on the phone with Miku. Miku is her next door neighbor. Miku is tsundere. Miku is often very rude to her friends in a way that sucks, but her friend Serafu is like, whatever, that's okay. She's like, sure, okay. She means well. She does miss that their friendship is kind of strained. They're going to different high schools. The high schools are next to each other, but they're going to different ones. Miku is going to a big, important vocational school, and then Serafu is going to a school for girls. That's just a high school, just all girls, and just not as big of a deal. But she again does not seem to mind that because she seems very laid back. I should also mention this: Serafu, the accident-prone girl, has she lives with her mom and has a cat, a dog, and a little pig. I should also say that little pig is wearing sunglasses. The cat has a ribbon, the dog has no accessory, and again, this show features a pet pig that is wearing cool sunglasses, and that is incredible. A+ decision, wonderful idea. I immediately was like, well, I'm going to watch the rest of this episode. I was already going to watch it because I know it's called Do It Yourself, and I know what it's about, but I'm still like, yeah. Anyway, they go to different schools. Miku is mad they're not going to the same school, but she can't say that she's mad because of that, so instead she's just disappointed in Serafu. Serafu instantly makes friends with a girl named Takumi. Takumi is real shy. She's a real she got glasses and braids and soft spoken, but she's just instantly excited because the girl that she sits next to wants to be friends with her, and she is just I got a nickname. I've never had a nickname before. Now her name is Takumi, and her nickname is Takamin. And so that's not much of a nickname, but it's something. And it does not take much. It does not take much at all. I should mention that there's a lot of weird there are a lot of drones flying around, there's a lot of weird technology. Miku has a little robot butler that is a little animal creature. Looks like an animal creature. It's weird. There's some weird stuff going on. Um, anyway, also I should mention the dog is now named Pochi, dog. The cat is named Tama, cat. And so you go, okay, the dog is a dog, cat is cat. So, whatever the Japanese word for pig is the name of the pig, right? No. The name of the pig that wears sunglasses is Meat. She named the pig Meat. This anime rules. I love this goddamn shit so much. It's great. All right, so now to the actual, like, what this fucking thing is about. Serafu damages her bike on the way to school, and then an older girl, an upperclassman, shows up, and she's got a toolkit on her back, pulls the toolkit off, fixes the bike, and then disappears. And our girl's like, okay, well, I have to go find her. And she finds out that upperclassman is named Yasaku Rei. So Yasaku will go there. Yasaku. And Yasaku is a member of a club, and that club meets in a workshop that is on school grounds, but its own kind of like area. And then, so Serafu shows up and is like, hey, thank you so much for working on the bike. What are you working on? She kind of gets interested in this carpentry that the Yasaku is working on. And she is like, oh, well, you can do this if you want. You can help me out. You can drill, put a screw in this. And then, of course, Serafu fucks up and hurts herself, and it's weird. But later, she's like thinking about it, and she's like, it's cool that this girl builds stuff. That's neat. If I could build something, I would build a bench, because there used to be, when they were kids, a bench, because Miku and Serafu were next door neighbors. She's like, we used to sit there, and it was cute, and it was fun, and we hung out. And I bet if we had a bench there, it would be like old times. And anyway, she goes to meet up again with Yasuka. And Yasuka is meeting with the school nurse, who is also the club advisor, which is look, if you are working with power tools and you are a high school student, having the school nurse be your club advisor is great. But anyway, Yasuku is the only member of the club, and if she doesn't get 5 members, she's considered a member, she needs 4 more members by the end of the term, then the club gets shut down because they need to have members and they lose funding. So Serafu gets recruited. And that's where we did not know this beforehand, friends. I have to share with you the pun in this anime. Serafu's last name is Yua. Y-U-A. And when you put those together, it kind of sounds like a Japanese person saying the word yourself. Because this is not a carpentry club. It's the do-it-yourself club, the DIY club. Do it yourself. Yua Serafu. Yourself. Yua Serafu. Yua Serafu is basically like the English word yourself. So she's perfect for the club, the do-it-yourself club. And then there's a flash of like other girls who are going to join the club. One who goes to the other school and is kind of like she's not an actual cat girl, but she has like a cat personality. And then there'll be some, and then like looks like the friend Takumi is going to join, and then another girl who's blonde that we haven't met yet, and they're going to be the do-it-yourself club. And this is Girls Doing Things. It's a Girls Doing Things anime. It's my second Girls Doing Things anime of the season, because I also have the Novice Alchemist anime So this is, and but this one is a weird near future again, which has been strange because they're just like lots of drones and odd technology. But anyway, it's cute as fuck. The pig is the best character, clearly. It's real good. And I highly recommend it. If you are looking for a cute series on Crunchyroll to watch this season, do it yourself. Do it yourself also has like, it's not a painterly style. I don't know quite how to describe it, but it doesn't feel as clean and like deliberate as a lot of digital animation. It feels a little bit like it's like old school hand drawn. It's got a little bit more of a hand drawn feel to it. Which I think adds to the look of it. I like it. It's not super clean. It's a little dirty. Very cute show. Reincarnated as a Sword is an isekai. If you were like, Pat, so far you're only watching one isekai this season. What the fuck? And I was like, you're right. At that point, I was only watching I'm the Villainous, so I'm taming the final boss. But now I'm also watching... Reincarnated as a Sword, and Reincarnated as a Sword is the post. Okay, so we've talked about the eras of isekai. There is the traditional isekai, which was taking nods from Alice in Wonderland, and having a young lady travel to a different world, often romantic, sometimes not. Sometimes it's multiple girls. So your Fushigi Yugis, your Escaflones, your Magic Knight Rayearth, those kind of stories, right? Inuyasha to a certain extent, because you could argue if Kagome was really the main character of Inuyasha or if it was Inuyasha. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. That was the traditional. Then there's the modern take, which is the wish fulfillment, a video game kind of inspired RPG style, overpowered main character, lots of ladies, wish fulfillment stories that feature dudes. That is kind of the modern take. And then there's the postmodern. Like, it's an isekai, but instead of just being a dude, it's a spider or a slime or a washing machine. Not a washing machine, an onsen or a vending machine. That's what I meant to say. It's that kind of thing. This is in the postmodern. Let's play around with the formula by having a dude, we do not know his name, or a mushroom, indeed, Ghost Valve, yes, or a virus. There's one about a virus that takes over other organisms, and it's then also just kind of a standard isekai, but that one is like a weird thing. This one is a sword. An unnamed man dies and becomes a sword, but it's not just a regular sword. It's a fucking magic sword, so don't worry about it. Everything's going to be okay because this guy's a magic sword, so he's going to be fine. Because he can learn skills, and he can use telekinesis, so he can move the sword around by himself, and he can use it to, like, hit people or monsters and kill them and get their skills. So he's like, okay, well, someday I want somebody to become my owner and wield me. But in the meantime, what I can do is just go around and, like, kill some monsters and get stronger and just have, like, kind of the time of my life. Anyway, there's also a cat girl named Fran. Now, the thing you need about Fran is that she is a best girl. She is a top tier, nice girl in a bad situation, who cares about people, who could be a selfish prick, considering the life she has led, but instead is just a good-hearted, cool person that gets excited a lot and is just a fun person that we enjoy. We love Fran, the cat girl. Fran is a slave, and she is obviously poorly treated, and she dreams of escaping that and having a better life. Meanwhile, our sword, he's got a lot of skills, and he's doing great. He enters this forest, and this is where he fucked up. He fucked up real bad by going to this forest, because this forest if you touch the ground, it absorbs your mana. Now, for some people, that would just make you weak, and you would have to like flee out of the forest, and it'll be okay. But for people that have mana, but without skills, he's just a fucking sword, so he can't fly anymore. So he's just trapped there. And then Fran is with some humans, and they get attacked by a bear, and they just leave her behind. They're freaked out, but other cat people are being attacked by this bear. So Fran just grabs a sword that she can find. And that activates like the communication telepathy, and then he can like get powered up, and he talks to her through telepathy, and he's just like, he's like, you got it, let's kill this monster. Then Fran's owner is like, hey, that sword let you, a loser, do something. That's a cool sword. Give it to me. Which our hero is just like, or our sword is just like, fuck that shit. I'm not going with this dude. Dead. Thus freeing Fran. And then, yeah, getting rid of the slave contract. And then it's just like, okay, hey, you seem cool. Will you be my master? Or sorry, will you be the wielder of my sword, of me, the sword? And she's just like, no cat person has ever evolved. My dream is to evolve. So maybe you can help me with that. Because, this sword is knowledgeable and can talk and understands like skills and all this other stuff, she's just like, oh, you're my sensei, teacher. We're going to call him teacher from now on. So now the name of the sword is teacher. And teacher is just like, you know what? You are awesome, kid. I am now making it my mission to protect you. No one's going to be able to hurt Fran. Because I say so. Because I'm a magic fucking sword. With knowledge from my previous life. And so, again, Fran, adorable. Sword, pretty alright. Fun comic relief. In the manga, it's kind of like it has to be expressive because it is a sword, and I think they do an alright job of that. I'm looking forward to seeing more of how they try to make that work in the animation, how to make that creature, this inanimate object, have some personality. Obviously, voice acting certainly helps a lot. But yeah, I am into Reincarnated as a Sword. Before we get into, let's do Doomsday with My Dog. Then I'll talk about the show that I am watching, but I will not be covering on a weekly basis because I want to savor it. I didn't even watch the first episode yet, but I have one that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch this at my own pace. Doomsday with My Dog is the short series. It's little 2-minute episodes, just kind of like, all right, we need G1, 11 and 12, great. It is the post-apocalyptic event. There is only one human left in the world. She is a high school dropout, and her dog Haru. All animals can be understood by this girl. We never learn her name. We don't know what her name is. Anyway, Ironhide the Fourth is here saying, I would have told a chemistry joke, but all the good ones are gone. Thank you. Welcome, Ironhide the Fourth. So Doomsday with My Dog. Again, short little joke stories, quick little snippets. We've already know that in this post-apocalyptic world, we know that time travel exists because we've already met the girl from the future. She's back along with a little puppy that is Haru's child in the future. So that means that Haru's just like, oh, so I have kids, huh? And she's like, yep. You are still very active in the future. In more ways than one. Ha ha ha. Haru fucks. We now know that the dog Haru fucks, which is fun. How is the RG God? The Real Great God Gundam. We're only on parts of the feet. We just got into it because we had finished up tonight. We also finished up another kit. So far so good. I mean, it's we're just getting into it. Real grades are in the 144 scale, but also very, what's the word for this? they're small and detailed, so sometimes I get frustrated because I can't immediately get a part to work right because it doesn't just like immediately fit, and I have to and sometimes I feel like I'm struggling, but that's also just me trying to work fast. But right now, yeah, it's good. Again, very detailed. Hey, we just got a raid for a party of 13. Delta Head just rated on their birthday? What? How lucky am I? Hey, Delta says hello. Well, hello back, Delta. Thank you very much for the raid. Yes, we're working on some Gunpla. Thank you for the follow, Dr. Crunch. Appreciate that. All right, I think we got to do the shout out now. There's now a command here, so I can now do a command for this. So I got to do this real quick. Pardon me. I can now do a shout out, and then it will show up in their feed that I did it, which is neat. So let's do that. This is more complicated. See, if I had mods, then I would just have them do it. But yes, a shout out was given to Delta Head. Go give Delta Head a follow if you like cool art, fun art, and lots of Sonic streaming and just good times. Thank you everybody for being here. My name is Pat Baer. Quickly say, I build model kits and Lego sets. We're working on something called the Real Grade Gundam, the God Gundam, from G Gundam, which is a series G Gundam is wild and weird, and I can't blindly recommend it. You have to go into it understanding that it is a world tournament fighting anime where all of the fighters represent different countries, in the future, like post dramatic Earth event future. Hey, Aristfan just gifted a sub to Dr. Crunk. That's 105 gift subs for Aristfan, so we're gonna hit the old applause there. Thank you so much for that gifted sub, Aristfan. Subscribers can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote into chat. And then I'm going to go ahead and take off this message, or take off the numbers from the other screens when we get there, because we're now at 40 subscribers, and I don't have to talk about how I need to get to 40 subscribers. Thank you very much, Aristofan, for gifting that sub. That's so many gift subs. So yeah, G Gundam is tough because the God Gundam that we're seeing here, it doesn't really represent Japan. There's nothing like Japan about it. But the other Gundams, like the Netherlands Gundam, is a windmill. It's just a Gundam that's also a big windmill. The Neo America Gundam is a weird mesh between like a boxer and a baseball player and a football player. It's just like American sports. So you could say that it plays around with stereotypes if you want to be generous, or it's just using stereotypes if you didn't want to be generous. But the story is fun. In general, good dub back in the day. It is I think like scenes of that series. Yeah, because like the Neo Hong Kong Gundam is just like called like, it's just like the Master Gundam because it's Master Asia, and you're just like, when your Gundam just looks evil. What's your deal? Why is there a pharaoh? Why is there like a sarcophagus Gundam? It's just like, or a mummy Gundam. It's like, what are we doing here? It's still enjoyable. Yeah, the Tequila Gundam is a problem. The Tequila Gundam is bad news. Like I said, some of it's just like, oh, the Neo Sweden Gundam is nothing about Sweden, but because it's the female pilot in the tournament, it's just a schoolgirl. Like, look, don't get me wrong, the Nobel Gundam is fantastic because it is like a Sailor Scout mobile suit, and that's great. but also it has like high heels and like a beam ribbon weapon, and you're like, nah, this is kind of cool, and the pilot rules, but like, I don't know. That's G Gundam, but the God Gundam from G Gundam is the kit we're building tonight, and this is a fantastic mobile suit that I am happy to be working on. I like real grades. They are very detailed and can be tough to build, but cool. And we don't really need to get into it. We were talking about an anime called Doomsday With My Dog, which is on High Dive, and it is a short little series that is done in motion graphic style that I really like, and there was some cute stuff in this episode. Basically, it proposes the concept that all Shibu Inus are tsundere, which I, as someone that has spent time with more than one Shibu Inu, yeah, that tracks. They are the tsundere dog. I was like, yeah, okay, I buy that. I think that's it. So I am not currently going to be watching Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 weekly. I will be checking out Mob Psycho, but just not on a weekly basis, so I won't be covering here on the stream because folks that are new, every week or every stream, I talk about the anime that I had watched since the past stream. So I talked about some stuff that I've watched since Monday. A couple things on Wednesday and a thing today. Mob Psycho fits in that. Season 3 just started. It'll be a little while for the dub. If you are a dub person, there has been some stuff with Mob Psycho and the dubs. Basically, the previous 2 seasons were done by a production company that did that, right? Because Mob Psycho wasn't like a Crunchyroll original or like any payment from it, right? They had like a company that was doing the dub, and then it aired on whatever network, whatever streaming service, Funimation or Crunchyroll or both, right? Well, now Funimation and Crunchyroll are the same company owned by Sony. So Funimation as Crunchyroll is like, actually, we're reopening our Dallas recording area, and so we're not going to be doing from home. We might do some stuff in LA, but for the most part, we're going to try to do everything here in Dallas. So we're not working with that cast. We're going to hire new people to be the voices and the dub for Mob Psycho. Now, is that face value? Well, we've got this space and, we've got all these actors that live in the Dallas area, so we're just going to do that. You could say that, that makes sense, even though for the past couple of years they've done remote and they've been able to work with in some ways better talent or more talent, especially more diverse talent, because they don't all live in Dallas or LA or New York. It's like, oh, yeah, you could say that just makes sense to get under one roof. Or you could recognize that several members of the voice talent that had done the English dub of Mob Psycho 100 Season 1 and 2 are in SAG-AFTRA and would love for that recording contract to be a SAG contract, which Crunchyroll certainly doesn't want. They don't want to be a union. They don't want any of their productions to be union productions. So it's most likely that some of the cast may stay the same because they're not doing a unilateral, like, we're all walking if you don't. And in fact, a bunch of them were like, look, we'll do the shows. We will do whatever you need to do. We just want you to come to the table in good faith and start having conversations about the future, having some shows that are contract shows, which of course Crunchyroll, Funimation, Sony do not want. They will avoid that at all costs for as long as possible because it is bad for them. Jujutsu Kaisen 0 did very well. That movie did incredibly well. But it doesn't matter that did well for the voice actors that did the dub, because they don't make any more money if it does well or how well it does. Or a threshold of how well it does. They just do the work, and it could flop or it could be a huge financial windfall. It does not matter to them, unfortunately, because they just got their base rate pay as if they were doing basically the equivalent of doing a couple episodes of a show. Dr. Crunch says it's shocked by the payment numbers for the cast. Yeah. Look, voiceover doesn't pay great. It pays. You can earn a living doing it. You can earn a living doing it with other things, but it's not great. And that's why shows want to be SAG-AFTRA. They want to have union representation so that they can have contracts. They can have representatives helping with their contracts, fighting for residuals, fighting for proper treatment. Just like, think about all the times you've heard voice actors scream in an episode of an anime that you watched, or a cartoon you watched, or video game that you played. Like, is there hazard pay? Well, and if you just have a contract that maybe your lawyer signed, you may have no recourse to say, hey, if you're going to have me scream, you got to give me notice about it. You got to send me the stuff in advance. I've got to be able to book time with you that doesn't interfere with my other work, because if I lose my voice doing your stuff and I can't do other things, then I'm the one breaking a contract. Or like, you can only have me do so many hours before you get a break. These things are, some people are powerful enough to get those benefits on their own. Some people have the right to get those things done. Most people don't have that. But collective bargaining gives them the opportunity to get some of those things, be it overtime pay, be it like right to say like, no, you have to give me the opportunity to do this from home. Like just people looking at it, residuals, payouts for, DVD sales or streaming, sales, that kind of stuff. Like if it gets, if you're a voice actor and you do something, you had to deal with Funimation back in the day, right? You get paid for the Funimation streams. If they later make a deal with any network like Adult Swim or Cartoon Network to air that dub, you don't get more money. Your contract is just a flat rate payment for what you did. And especially for simulcasts, the stuff that comes up like as soon as possible, their turnaround times are incredibly short, because they gotta the episode comes out, some anime comes in very hot and they barely get the scripts ahead of time. So then they're casting and they're trying to be they want to be a week behind or a couple days behind. They want to keep up because they want to keep with the momentum of the show. They don't want to be delayed. So they really want to get out there and get their stuff in. So your turnover time is so short. It is it can be very rough for people out there doing that work. And then they get the benefit of very little pay. Frustrating. But yeah, there wasn't a picket line. They weren't doing hey, none of us are going to come back. They weren't saying don't watch the dub. It was basically as nice as possible saying, hey, meet with SAG about future opportunities for other shows. It does not seem like Crunchyroll will do that. And again, when I say Crunchyroll, I mean Sony owned Funimation, which merged with Crunchyroll, but they're going with the international branding name of Crunchyroll, so that it sounds like they're still the upstarts that used to host torrents, and now look at this homegrown thing, and you don't. So you associate with that, and you don't think about it being owned by Sony. I don't know that for a fact, but that's how it feels to me, your friend Pat. It really feels like that is what they're going for, which sucks. Let's see. My next stream is going to be Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern because, yeah, it's Thursday. I forgot for a second what day it was. But, yeah, it's Thursday. My next stream will be Saturday. We're going to keep working on this. This kit's going to take a while. This is a very detailed model kit. There are lots of small pieces that interlock with each other to make it a bigger kit. So it is going to take a little while to do. But we're going to have a very detailed, very cool-looking kit at the end of it. Like, this foot right now, if I look at this, this is like 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19, 22, like, 19 to finish that up. Like, there's just so many components to this that we're building already just to do these feet and then, like, some of the legs. It's just like a lot of parts, which is cool. And like tiny parts, like the piece I'm going to be taking out right here is very, very tiny. No poly caps, no rubber pieces to connect, or rubberized pieces, I should say. Really detailed. If you came in from the raid and you want to hit that follow button, I would appreciate that. I build model kits on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I only do 2-hour streams. Because we'll get close to wrapping up soon. Because I find that after 2 hours, I become a bad model kit builder. I just start, my skills go down after 2 hours of focusing and chatting. So I only do 2 hours a week, or 2 hours of stream, I should say. But I stream 3 days a week, and then on Tuesdays we do something that isn't model kit building. I just do a bonus stream because I like streaming, and we just pick something else. Next Tuesday will be a karaoke stream because I have not done a karaoke stream in a while, and I like doing it. Back in the day, I used to do Twitch Sings, which was an app that Harmonix made with Twitch, but they got rid of Twitch Sings, which is a shame because it was a cool, fun, gamified way to do karaoke. So instead, I just rip a bunch of karaoke tracks off YouTube, and then we'll just play those. Very cool. Very excited to have been shown your channel through the raid. Yeah, I'm so happy that it's been raided. Delta Head. We went through the greater New York, like, in video games and friends kind of scene, through many mutual friends in the scene, which is always fun. Which one of the things I really liked about New York is like I've never worked on a video game. I've never worked for a video game company, but I had a lot of friends in gaming, both on the journalist side and on the development side, and I've done gaming conventions as entertainment. So like I've met a lot of people through that, and especially when I lived in New York, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of people in the games. But yeah, we also are going to go on a raid once we finish this piece up. We're going to finish this one component here. We are going to go and raid because it's nice to go and share the love. And of course, we had a raid, so the least we can do is also go and pass on to somebody else. We often get raided on Thursdays. Tonight we did not get raided by Puppet Jared. We often get raided by our friend Jake as his VTuber persona, Puppet Jared, but did not happen tonight, which is okay. He doesn't have to raid us, but often that happens on Thursday. All right, so we got a little bit of this leg done. What exactly this leg is like, I don't know. That is the fun part of doing these like very detailed components here, is I don't quite know excuse me, what the end result is going to look like until we've built a bunch of it. I don't know, I like that. All right, I mean 21 and 23. But yeah, we're probably getting close to wrapping this up. But like I said, we will go and do a cool raid and go hang out with somebody else out there. They are rarely model kit builders. I do follow a few model kit builders, but they often stream earlier than I do or finish up, before I'm done. So usually we end up with some video game people. But one of the nice things I can tell you is everybody that I raid has a very pleasant community. They are nice people who have nice folks, hanging out. So we will go and find a cool bunch of folks to go hang out with for a bit on our Thursday. Why can't this piece fit together right? We did the other one perfect. Why is this one being weird? It is. I don't know why. Hold on. And then Saturday we'll continue to work on this model kit, and we will also hang out and talk about wrestling and video games and anime. My only video game thing to talk about as we wrap up here is my crew, my multiplayer crew that plays a lot of stuff. Several members have been trying their damnedest to play Overwatch 2, and only one of them has succeeded. Today, they played 4 games of Overwatch 2. But then so a bunch of people will be in queue, and then we'll be like, hey, get out of queue, because it's not going to work. Come play Gundam Evolution with us. Friends, I still don't think I love Gundam Evolution, but I like playing video games with my friends, and being a gun tank isn't bad. So that's my ringing endorsement of Gundam Evolution. I don't hate it. I like my friends. All right, so let's find somebody out there to raid. We're going to go hang out with some people here. Find a streamer here. Again, thank you everybody that decided to join tonight. Oh, I can take these off because we did hit our 40, which is great. We're at 40 subscribers per month, which is the monthly goal. All right, who is doing cool stuff on the internet? Who is streaming? Friends better than game. Yes. I mean, my one friend who got to play is like, hey, it's still Overwatch. And they like Overwatch, so I was like, okay. Oh, hey, you know who's streaming right now is my friend Heather, aka Lunar Jade. And I believe, yes, Lunar Jade is checking out some of the Games Fest or the Next Fest demos. I don't know. There are demos out on Steam, and I believe Lunar Jade is just checking out some demos. So that's cool. I said I was going to do that. I was going to check some out, and then I didn't. Maybe I will for Saturday. Maybe I'll check out some demos. I was waiting to get recommendations, and then all I kept hearing was people were downloading broken-ass demos that weren't good. So I have not heard any recommendations yet. So maybe Lunar Jade will give me something, and we can try them out on Saturday. I don't know. Or I can talk about them on Saturday. But we're going on a raid. Please come along. Heather is one of my favorite people. They're so great. So let's go hang out with Heather. Thank you so much, everybody decided to spend some time with me. If you came on a raid or you came on your own. Jackbox and there is a demo from Jackbox, but that regular full version is coming out soon anyway. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.